Good morning. My name is Tom Cook, and I'm the president of the Nunda Historical Society. I'm here in the Nunda Museum with Pete Piraino, a Nunda Historical Society member who has just added to our library of local titles. He has written a book called Notable Nundaians, and he's here today to talk about it. Pete is a 1971 graduate of Keshwa Central School. He's lived here all his life, and you'll know him as a retired phys ed teacher and a very successful basketball coach. So, Pete, tell us about your new book and why you wrote it.
So, Tom, I wanted to show the people, the youngsters at school, the students at schools, my players at schools, that you can be from Nunda area, Keshwa Central, and you can be very successful. So I started writing some articles for the Historical Society and to use with my players, and it sort of mushroomed from there. They were fascinating people, and I was just amazed at what had happened, and now we've done 18 of them, and we're putting them together to do a book, and I think it'll be beneficial for all people to read.
How did you decide on those 18 people that are in your book?
Well, first of all, I knew quite a few people, and I didn't really know their stories, but I thought I did. And so I started interviewing some people, and then things were suggested. Why don't you do this person? And I'll give you an example of how I found out. One, I was talking to Tom Moran's mother, Pam, uptown, because we were doing Tom for his many successes that he has had. And she mentioned that Tom was looking at a new job and had talked to Rachel Maston. So I said, why did she talk to Rachel Maston? And then, wow, what a story I had when I found out why he talked to Rachel Maston. So there are three categories. Basically, people have overcome some handicaps to be successful, people who have done great service to Nunda, and also people who have done worldwide service, very influential and successful people.
Okay. Do you plan on doing more books on the Nunda notables?
I do plan on doing more books. Right now I have 7 in my pipeline to do. One is done, and one is half done, and then I'm working on another one. So it takes a while to get the information, but it's well worth it, and I learned so much about the people in Nunda. It's really been a fun thing for me to do.
If people have some ideas of people they know who have been successful and gone out into the world and did these things, how can they suggest them to you?
I would love to hear about them. I might not get to these stories right away, as I have 7 to do. They take a while. But I would love to hear any suggestions that you have, and I will possibly use them in the next book that we do.
Okay. Do you have anything else you'd like to add for the folks?
Well, I just want to say, some of these people, their stories. So we have a person who was in the Pittsburgh Pirates minor league farm system as a pitcher. We have a person who was painted the Ivory Soap building in Mount Morris and was arrested doing it. Another person in charge of 90,000 employees. Another person who works in the White House. Goes on and on. Another person in charge of an organization that has 105 governments and 126 organizations, and had to live in Geneva, Switzerland to do the job. And 2 more, just there's a highlight for every person. 2 more lady who has a day named after her in a city in New Hampshire every year. And Bud Long fought in World War II. He grew up with the Nyland brothers, who they based the movie Saving Private Ryan on. He also was friends with Skip Muck, who was portrayed in the Band of Brothers, and the stories go on and on and on. So one of my goals now is I want to be #1 on the Nundai bestsellers list for books for this year, and I want to set a record on March 7th, that's this Sunday, to have a record for first day sales in books.
Okay. So we'll talk about how to get this in a second, but one last thing. Could you tell us who you've got in this first of your Notable Nundaians book?
Yes, okay, so I have Rachel Maston Wood, Bob Breimer, it goes from left to right, Tom Moran, Joan Shoemaker, Bud Long, Donnie Thompson, Barb Bryant, Bob Gelser, Gus Morano, Jeff Thompson, Gary Ayers, Jewel Long, Don Hooker, Shonda Foote, Carl Essler, Debbie Essler, Larry Russell, and Bill Duncan.
Thanks, Pete. And we're sure that everyone's going to want to get a copy of your book. Now, here's how you do it. This Sunday, March 7th, you can come to the museum between 1 and 4 o'clock. Now, Pete's going to be signing books. Okay? We do ask that you wear a mask, and we'll socially distance. We'll have marks on the floors and things, but you'll also be able to see the museum during that. And we hope that people will kind of scatter themselves out during those 3 hours that it will be on. Now, after Sunday, you can get the book at the Nundai Family Pharmacy. Okay? You can also order it for $12 plus $3 shipping from our website, nundaihistory.com. You could also order it directly from us by sending your email address through our Facebook page, and we'll invoice you through PayPal. That's another possibility. And we hope that you'll pick these up. It's a wonderful book, and it will be a wonderful addition to our Nundai history collection. So thank you very much for tuning in.